So one of the biggest mistakes that I see a lot of OnlyFans agency owners make, and especially beginner OnlyFans agency owners, is going to be they get stuck on that first client. And what that means is a lot of people will find their first client, second client, third client, and because it's their first client, they attach so much like value behind it because they're like, oh my God, I got a model, right? Well, not even necessarily that. Just the fact that like their first client might not be quality. So for an example, she might not want to make TikToks. She might not want to do short form content, which is hands down the most important part of the entire business. Like I would generally say 90% of all of our money. And obviously we're doing 500K a month agency revenue, 500K a month, not inflow rev. In inflow rev, we're doing like 1.3 mil a month, right? And so with that being said, 90% of that traffic all comes from short form content, and then you obviously need really good relationship managers on the back end to obviously convert that traffic, right? I'm not going to get into that chat. That's the chat inside of things is a video for another day. But the reason I want to post this video is because I just see so many people having the same issue, and so I've coached a lot of people, and one of the biggest things that I see when I'm coaching people in terms of who gets to the top faster, who makes more money faster, who succeeds faster, is the fact that, let's just say we've got student A, student B. Student A's first model he signs is a quality model, which is going to be kind of luck-based, right? But she's a quality model, she does short-form content, she's very hard-working. Student A is going to fly and succeed very fast. Student B can have the same access to the information, do the same things. Student B can just do everything the same, but if his model isn't hardworking, doesn't want to do short form content, then student B is going to get stuck here. And so student A is excelling, student B is stuck here, right? So how does student B get up here? The only way is to cut that model, like simply cut that model. You don't want to go sign in other models and keep attached to this model because you're worried about losing her. Just cut her. If you cannot sign models, if they say they're not willing to do short form content, you do not work with them. It's going to hold you back so much, and you don't even want to keep this model while you go and sign other models, because a lot of people make that mistake as well. A lot of people will literally make the mistake. Let me put my phone down. But a lot of people will make that mistake of like, right, you've got a model, and because you've got her, you've attached so much value to it, you're scared to lose her, you don't want to just cut her. It's like being in a bad relationship, right? It's like having that toxic ex that you just don't want to leave, but you know it's just bad for you and you know you should leave, right? It's the same. A lot of people treat models the same. So they sign a model and they're like, even if they decide not to stick with her, they're like, I'm just going to go find other models first before I get rid of her. Well, what's that even doing? Like, that does nothing. Yeah, you go and find other models. Let's just say you find another quality model. This model, what are you going to do? Like, you've got to cut her eventually anyway, because she's just going to waste your time. And just like, it just makes no sense. So like, if you got a model that's not willing to do any organic short form content, get rid of her. Like, it's literally not worth it. Like, we're in the game of making creators famous. We're in the game of building personal brands. And because if you've got that personal brand, if you can create attention around a model, you've literally won the game. You can generate endless amounts of money for the rest of time. If you're only doing solely agency-based traffic, if you're trying stuff like Mother Slave and all these black hat methods that always break and are always getting outdated, which is a bunch of bullshit, you're doing stuff like that, that's where everyone gets stuck, because everyone thinks that those are the fast ways to make money. And I can start an agency, sign a model, and do all this agency-dependent traffic, and now I can make money fast. But they actually end up fucking themselves, and they actually end up getting stuck right in that place, and they can never get out of it, and that's why most people quit. Whereas if you play the long-term game, it's the tortoise and the hare. If we've got someone that's trying a bunch of all these new black hat methods as a shitty model, and he's just trying, and he's doing it for 6 months, let's just say he's doing it for 6 months, doesn't get any results. You've got this, or maybe he gets a couple of results at the start and he does all right, and he makes $1,000 or whatever. This guy over here signs a good quality model because he's cut all the bad ones he's had. He finally finds a good quality model, and he goes all in on organic content, all in on creating attention around this model, all in on building a personal brand for her. Guess what? In 6 months' time, that's going to compound and compound. And while this guy might shoot up a tiny bit and then drop back down, and might seem like he's beating this guy at the start because this guy's playing the slow game, over time this guy's going up here, now he has a creator with 600,000 followers on Instagram. Whenever she posts a reel, goes viral, and he just has a constant flow of subs forever. He's growing. He has a personal brand that he owns 50% of a personal brand. Imagine owning 50% of Andrew Tate. Imagine owning 50% of Iman Gadzhi. Imagine owning 50% of Iggy Azalea. Imagine owning 50% of Kim Kardashian. That's the power in a personal brand. You own a business. A personal brand is a business. So if you have a creator that says, I don't want to do short form content, I don't want to do organic, I don't want to put myself out there. Well, guess what? You're not going to make any fucking money. Simple as. Well, you might make money for 1 month when something's working that's black hat, and then it doesn't work, and now you've got to find a new way. And you're always trying to find this new thing that works and these new little cheap, shitty hacks when you could just play the long game and get really fucking good at creating organic, viral content on short form platforms, long form platforms. You could get really good at creating a mass movement around the personal brand. You get really good at building a personal brand, really good at generating attention for a model. And over time, it's going to compound and compound and compound. We literally took a creator last month from fucking 0 followers on Instagram to 100,000 followers in 2 months. All through organic, short form, viral content. And Steven, my most successful student, did the exact same thing. Short form content, if you know how to create good content, is the winning strategy. It's evergreen. It will never go out of date like these black hat methods. So you need to understand how to create attention, how to build attention mechanisms, how to get really good at converting our attention into paid subscribers and converting them even more on the back end through having good chatting systems. But like I said, chatting's another conversation for another day. And optimizing funnels, all this stuff, another stuff for another day. The main thing, if you can get a fuck ton of attention, if you can make creators famous, which should be your game, because if you can make a creator famous, you now own 50% or 40% or 30% of a famous creator. That is a money printing machine. Like some of the models that we work with that we have 50% in, that we blew up from 0 to 200K a month, some of those models, we have an actual joint business venture with them where it's not just 50% of their OnlyFans, but 50% of their brand deals, 50% if they go on TV shows, all these different things. There's so many endless ways to monetize personal brands. So not only should you be building your own personal brand, because if you build your own personal brand, it's going to make everything easier, client acquisition, all this stuff. But if you're in the business and you start an OnlyFans agency, the one core concept, the only thing you need to master is generating attention. Building personal brands, making creators famous, blowing them up on the internet, and making influencers. That's all you need to know is how to generate attention. And the best way to generate attention is through short form content. Organic short form content. And none of this bullshit of like, which, yeah, this method can work, but none of this bullshit of like, oh, I'm just going to find what's trending and I'm going to join these groups that send out these trend reports and I'm just going to get my model to copy what everyone else is doing. Talk about fucking being a copycat, talking about being original. Like, personal brand is about being personal. You've got to find out the verticals that fit with your creator. And so copying other models, yeah, it could work. Yeah, it could bring in some subs. Yeah, some people have scaled like it. But if you really want long-term sustainable growth, you've got to utilize the unique personality that's in front of you with whatever model that you've signed. And so every single person is unique, and that's the only thing that no other model can compete with you on. People are not going to platforms like Reels and TikTok to look at OnlyFans models. Maybe some people are, like some creeps and the 1% of people. But we're missing that raw, authentic, like that raw authenticness of like online personalities. And so like, I can't compete with Alex Hormozi on being Alex Hormozi. I can't compete with Iman Gadzhi on being Iman Gadzhi. I can't compete with Andrew Tate on being Andrew Tate. But where I can be authentically me. And there's going to be a subsection of people that resonate with that like me for me, and then there'll be people that try and copycat me, just like there's people that copycat Andrew Tate and people that copycat Iman Gadzhi, but those people are never looked at as the real authentic people, and they have no longevity. And so you should think the same about your creators. Just copying every other OF girl, guess what? You just look like every other OF girl. Yeah, it can work. Yeah, you can get to 10, 20, 30, 40, 50K a month. But if you really want to scale, you want to get to the 200, 300, 400, 500 grand months with an OnlyFans creator, you have to have a good personal brand. The perfect example of an OnlyFans creator personal brand is Anna Paul. Go and research Anna Paul. Go and look at exactly what Anna Paul's doing. That is the way how you create longevity. That is how you create attention, and that is how you monetize attention at the high level. Anna Paul is making a fuck ton of money because she's authentically her, and she's found what her verticals are, and you can look on her page and she tests different verticals, but she's created a mass movement. She has a fan base of not just OnlyFans simps, but a broad fan base of women, men. Everyone just loves her for her. And yeah, she does OnlyFans, but that's just like a subsection. Like, she's not like the OnlyFans girl. Like, she's not branded as the OnlyFans girl. Like, she's just Anna Paul. And that's what you should strive to do with all the models you sign. So that being said, there's a lot I could dive into on actually how to do this, but that's the core concept that you need to know. And so like maybe I'll create like, I've already got a ton of stuff created for the people in my partnership program, but maybe I'll create like an entire like thing of how you actually take someone from zero to making them famous. And this is not something that you can do overnight. Maybe there's very rare scenarios, but this is going to take 6, 12, 18 months to pull off. But at that 6, 12, 18 month point, you're going to be fucking glad you did it, because you've got a money printing machine forever and you've created longevity. You own a percentage of a personal brand that you can monetize in multiple different ways. And so that's what I wanted to talk about. Bit of a rant. But hopefully that provides some type of value and clarity, because that's the biggest thing. Just the biggest thing is that. But I did kind of go off on a tangent. The point of this video was like, if you're stuck with a model and she's not creating short form and she doesn't want to be out there, put herself out there, then just get rid of her. Like, that's the point of this video. So just, yeah, that's all I really want to say. If that's you, drop the model, go and find one that's quality. And the thing is, you've got to understand client acquisition as well. Like, you've got to be able to like I said, like, we've had months where we've generated 250 meetings with models, right? And so like, you need to be able to bring in volume, even 100 meetings or 50 meetings a month. You need to have that volume of client acquisition, of being able to book calls with models to find the good ones. So like, as you guys know from my other videos, we've signed a model every single day this month for the entire month of January, just because Q1 we test a bunch of stuff and we're trying to find those unicorns. And usually we go through about 10 models, like we sign 10 models and only one of them is actually quality and is a unicorn that we want to work with that meets our standards. And so you need volume to be able to find good clients. And a lot of people will sign their first 5 clients and it might take them 3-4 months just to sign 5 clients, which is crazy. You need to work on your client acquisition. But let's just say they do, and they could all be shit. That is the reality. That's why you need to be signing, like, you need to be at least able to sign a model every day if you wanted to, or a model every couple of days, because it's a volume game to find those quality ones. It's just like when you hire people in a company. I'm hiring setters right now. When I hire setters, I have to hire like 20 at once, and usually out of those 20, 2 of them, maybe 3, and if I'm lucky, 4 of them will be unicorns that actually stay on my team, and I get rid of the rest of them, because not everyone is meant for it. Not everyone's a 200 grand a month person, not everyone's a 300 grand a month person, not everyone's meant to be the next big creator. And so like, it's not meant to be easy. Like, it's not meant to be easy to go and find the next Anna Paul. But if your client acquisition is good and if you go through enough models, you'll find the next Anna Paul. And so that's the game that we're in. And if you can do it, you can change your life forever and make a ton of money. And we've done it with a couple models now that are like superstars, and we're still signing models to continue to find those up and coming superstars. And so that's what I would recommend doing. You need to have all aspects of the business on lock. But I just want to make this video and say, don't get stuck on that one client that's not delivering you any results. Don't think that your services are bad because you can't get results for a client, because it might be very model dependent. And so short form content is 100% the best thing to do in this business. I will fight anyone on that point, and I got tons of evidence to back that up. So that's what I wanted to say. Don't get stuck on your model. And yeah, other than that, I will see you at the top. Peace.